I'm back. Yeah, I'm in between again. Um, but I just wanted to share a little bit of my meditative experience this morning. Um, it was definitely really nice to not feel completely out in the cold, almost with the void. Again, and these stages, I don't even know if I'm really in it or not, because sometimes I feel like I can relate, and then sometimes I feel like I can't. Like it's like, I mean, Christina Lopes talks about like certain time frames, and I know most recently she shared that like people are going through this process a little bit more quickly, and they're sorry, my lips are like really dry, but just really, yeah, just quickly. And so I sometimes I don't even know. um, I don't even know. So even like with the synchronicities, sometimes it does resonate, and then sometimes it doesn't when I see the balance or the imbalance. But and I'm not really hung up on that as much anymore. It's more of this sense of like, I'll see it, but if I feel it, then I'll know it resonates, versus just seeing it and doing it without even thinking or feeling, really, because it's really more of the feeling. And so just really, again, I think a lot of it is just practicing to listen to my own intuition, and using that more as a guide, not necessarily as a end all be all decision making practice. But I know last night I was really wanting to sleep a little bit more. I wasn't successful, but I did take naps during the day. So I did give myself grace in taking breaks and sleeping if I needed to. And that was really helpful. And there was this big push for me to be, to connect more with my spirit guides and with the whole meditative experience. And so I really feel that I was successful today in doing that. This morning I was, and I wonder if it had anything to do with the fact that I used 3 candles this time instead of 1. I mean, I don't know. I heard someone say that I guess lighting a candle helps. And this time I think I just wanted 3 because the way I meditate, and maybe I should do an actual video on meditation, or at least the way I do it. And again, everybody might have their own style, but so I initially started off doing it in my room, but then I moved to the living room because there's a space where I'm actually facing north, and there was just something about facing north, and I keep hearing this north node type of thing, and so I'm like, well, maybe I should be facing north. So I actually have a mat. And it's not a yoga mat, it's an actual like carpet mat that I found at Ross, and I just, it kind of went with like the whole theme, I guess, that I'm trying to go with in terms of the color scheme, blue, and I love blue, different shades of blue. But so I roll out my mat, and I get my stones out and my abalone shell and my intentions, my little notebook. I do have a journal specifically for my like what I experience after I meditate, so that I don't forget the images that pop up in my mind. And then I also, when I do my tarot shuffle, I do my tarot shuffle afterwards. I also make a note of it here, because it's so early in the day, and then I don't record in the morning. I usually record at the end of the day. So I just as a way for me to not forget, because I'm not that young anymore. So anyways, I actually did request or set the intention to be to stay focused with the message that I was supposed to receive. And it was difficult even in the meditative state to stay focused. And then all of a sudden, I see a specific card. and it resonated with me, and I smiled when I received it. And so then after my meditative experience, I was doing my tarot shuffle. 4 cards came out, and the funny thing is that it's always been 4 cards. Like if it's not 1 or 2, it's 4. I don't know if I've ever received 3. I don't think I have, but it's the 4. And it was tied into the card that I saw in my meditative state. And so I was really happy about that. I received the 10 of Pentacles, the Death and Rebirth, and then the King and Queen of Cups at the bottom. And they were jumpers, so I don't pick them. I just kind of shuffle, and then whatever pops out, that's what I take. So I was kind of thrown off because they were really good cards, I think. I didn't really, at that point, I didn't really read the description. I felt that they were good cards. And so it threw me off because as for some of you that know, I set the intention to identify a challenge, like make me aware of a challenge, right? That I need to learn from, grow from, and that it needs my love and compassion. And I was just trying to figure out, like, why is this a challenge? Why is this a challenge? And so then I realized what it was. It was the doubt that I would achieve that. That's really, if you've seen some of the other videos, I've been really like torn apart almost, and really emotional about this energetic feeling that I have, and not just that, but these desires that I've set the intention to not achieve, but I guess it would be achieve. I wrote down, I want abundance in all areas of life for myself and for others. And so, and then I was a little more specific. And so there's a sense of doubt in myself that I'll achieve that, or that it'll come true. So again, I think that's my own insecurities talking, my negative thinking, right? And so I think that was the lesson to learn, was the realization that I'm holding myself back from achieving that. I'm holding myself back from really receiving all of the desires of my heart because of my negative thinking and my doubt and not feeling worthy, right? It goes back to self-love. And so needing to remind myself that I had already set the intention to achieve all of these things, that they were things that my heart, that I had struggled with my heart, and the things that I had written down that I foresaw for myself, not so much as it was being ego-driven. Initially it was, right? But at the same time, knowing the benefit that it can bring, not just in union, but for other people around. And so, so just needing to remind myself that this is already set in stone. Like, it's already done. It's a desire, it's a wish fulfillment that it will come. It will come. I actually, I wrote a little Dear Yubi post-it from my higher self, and I dated it Timeless, and just reminding myself that, hey, all good things come, in divine timing, and everything is worth the wait, and to not get discouraged, and just a little pep talk for myself. So I changed some of my post-its in my bedroom, my bedroom mirror, but also my restroom mirror, because I don't know about you guys, but the restroom's like the first place that I go to in the morning when I wake up. So I wanted that to be the first thing I saw in the mornings to remind myself to stay positive, optimistic, hopeful, that and just remind myself that, hey, I'm the magician. I can create what I want to create, and that's something that I created before I knew that I was the magician, and that it will come. It will come. And so I was pretty happy the rest of the day, just reminding myself of that. But anyway, so I also use the oracle cards, and because I got all 4, I was going to ask for 2 oracle cards to, and I wrote down the specific question this time. So I wrote down, how do I get over my fear and doubt of getting everything I have wished for? And so, I don't know if you guys remember the last one. Listen. I got listen. And then I got this new one that says, repetition. And so it looks like it's a cycle. There's the moon phases. There's this sense of despair here in the corner. There's all these animals running to the past, right? And her eyes are like closed. And so, yeah, immediately I thought, oh gosh, repetition, a cycle repeats itself, right? And so the way it's set up is that this one was on the right side, and then this one's on the left. I hope I set it up right, or maybe it's like this when you guys see it. But basically, this is the logical response, and then this one was the creative and intuitive path. And it really just talked about recognizing that there's a risk of going back into a cycle of behaviors, right? Of bad habits, and just being aware of it, being more in tune with my intuition and higher self and spirit guides, and going slow so that I don't repeat a cycle over again. And so I actually wrote down things that I was going to work on. So being attentive, having a welcoming heart, listening more, talking less, and then just speaking my truth with love and compassion if I need to. Reminding myself that this is a chance to do things differently, recognizing those patterns and behaviors that need to be broken, and work towards breaking those patterns and cycles, which in essence is a rebirth, which is one of the 4 cards that showed up, right? It was the Ten of Pentacles, and then death and rebirth was right next to it. I wrote down, establish positive routines, which includes positive thoughts and positive intentions. Slow down, don't rush into anything, and enjoy this new adventure. Enjoy the process. So I'm really excited about that. So I think because 4 came out and I picked 2, I really want to embrace this tarot reading skill. So today I actually signed up for a tarot, MJ's tarot reading class, which is, I should be getting an email about it when I can start, but I guess it's a self-paced class, and there's Q&A sessions. So with that said, I noticed that she and a lot of other people have, well, yeah, more than other people, they'll have like the different types of decks. So it's not just one deck that they work out of. MJ said that she has more than one because it just makes it a little bit more fun, of not having to read the same cards over and over and over again. And I did notice that the larger the reading, the more cards she has to use, right? Because she runs out of using the cards. So it's like she intuitively knows when to stop almost. I don't know. Hopefully she addresses that in one of the classes. But anyways, remember I said there was a card that came up in my mind during my meditation. So I had seen that card before. It was, and I was trying to find it. And I don't know if it's in this particular deck. I think it is. I ended up buying my second deck. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. And so I'm hoping that the deck, that the image that came to mind is in this one. And the crazy thing is, when I was considering and thinking about taking that class, and even considering and thinking about buying this deck today. All of that I did today. I self-balance. And I think I had mentioned it before that in terms of my job and stuff, I'm still really torn. Like, I know I'm going to do it. I think it's just working up the courage of actually setting a date. But I keep hearing the same messages of just like, this is the time, this is the time. And I'm just like, trying to figure out how I'm going to, yeah. And, you know, I mean, it's a big change. This is has been my true stability. I mean, when I used to be a workaholic, and I say used to because I don't like work on the weekends anymore. I've changed a lot in terms of how much I'm investing in that for my own self-care. I mean, I'm talking like I was a workaholic. I was telling a friend of mine today that I would work at nights. I would pull all-nighters to finish reports. I would work on weekends during my vacation time. I mean, it consumed my life. And a big piece of that was because of this belief that it's my livelihood, that I couldn't find, I didn't have enough trust in myself that I could find something else that was, I mean, like I said, I love what I do. I love the people there, the organization. It's genuinely a place where we serve other people, but it's also a lot of work. I think I'm reaching that point of, I probably already reached it, the point of burnout several times, but now I think because I've embraced this other side of myself that I had dormant for so long, like that's all I can think about. Like that's just kind of where I want to go. And so I'm hopeful that I'll know and I'll be given the signs of when to actually take action. And I might end up doing it next Tuesday, but we'll see what happens. There's another opportunity that I'm looking into trying instead as a stepping stone, right? Before jumping completely out, and seeing how that works. At least until I gain more knowledge of this area. But so I think this is, it is and it isn't. I'm gonna have to find another one, but it's, I mean, it looks kind of like it. But this was a deck that I wanted to, yeah. So the image that came to mind was this one. I don't know if I think I'm able to show it. This one was the one that came to mind. Yeah. So I'm excited. About what's coming up next. I don't know when, but I'm excited. So I just wanted to share that. Yeah, so I'll keep posting, and as things come up, I'm meeting up with a friend tomorrow, and I asked him if I could do his tarot reading or a tarot reading on him. We'll see how that goes. It'll be my first time, and I haven't even taken any classes aside from the little whatever the little booklet says. So wish me luck. All right.